a small piece of land, completely cut off from the Russian mainland, wedged between Lithuania and Poland. Despite its size, it gives Russia enormous military and geopolitical power in Europe. It's surrounded by NATO, packed with nuclear missiles, and it's literally one wrong move away from starting a war. But how did this tiny territory end up Russian? And why does it remain so dangerous today? Long before it was Kaliningrad, the city was also known as Königsberg. Founded in 1255 by the Teutonic Knights, it became the capital of East Prussia and a major center of German culture and learning. For over 6 centuries, the region was primarily German, though there was also Polish and Lithuanian communities living there. Königsberg was historically significant. It witnessed the crowning of Prussia's first king. When Germany unified in 1871, Königsberg became a part of the new German Empire. World War I brought upheaval. The Russian army invaded East Prussia in 1914, and though Germany ultimately won on the Eastern Front, the region suffered devastating battles. Then came the Treaty of Versailles. East Prussia was cut off from mainland Germany, completely separated by the newly created Polish Republic. Königsberg was now an exclave, struggling economically and politically isolated. Nationalist settlement ran deep here. Economic hardship and resentment over Versailles made East Prussia fertile ground for the Nazis. By the time Hitler rose to power, Königsberg was a stronghold of support. And then came the war that would erase it from the map. By 1944, World War II had reached East Prussia. The Red Army was advancing fast. Over 2.6 million Germans lived across East Prussia. Most fled west as the Soviets approached, but not everyone made it out. Bombing and artillery had already reduced Königsberg to rubble. The remaining German population, hundreds of thousands of people, was expelled. Soviet settlers from Russia, Ukraine, and Belarus moved in to replace them. A city that had been German for over 600 years was now Russian. Stalin kept Kaliningrad as a part of Russia, not Lithuania, for one reason: the Baltic Fleet. Its ice-free port was too valuable to hand over. When the Soviet Union collapsed in 1991, Kaliningrad became an exclave overnight, hundreds of kilometers from Moscow, surrounded by newly independent countries. To keep it alive, Moscow turned Kaliningrad into a special economic zone, tax breaks, trade incentives. The goal was to make it a Baltic Hong Kong. But then the geopolitical ground shifted. In 1999, Poland joined NATO. In 2004, Lithuania joined both NATO and the European Union. Moscow's response was predictable. Kaliningrad became a fortress again, nuclear-capable Iskander missiles, S-400 air defenses, and the Baltic Fleet turned into one of the most heavily armed places on the planet. And this is where it gets dangerous. The Suwalki Gap, just 45 kilometers of land between Kaliningrad and Belarus, Russia's ally, is the only land link connecting the Baltic states to the rest of NATO. If Russia ever wanted to isolate Estonia, Latvia, and Lithuania from NATO, this is where it would happen. Kaliningrad gives Moscow the ability to split the alliance in half, all from a territory smaller than Connecticut. So next time you see Kaliningrad on a map, remember, it's not just Russian territory, it's the most dangerous piece of land you'll ever heard of. Thank you for watching the video. If you have any video ideas that you would like me to make in the future, please leave them in the comment section below.